I wonder if I could kick your ass.
This country wants to keep me down, keep everybody weak.
It's our mission to bring back the natural order of things. Guys, things.
Yippee-ki-yay, mother. The ultimate male versus the ultimate meatball.
I'm not talking about that unleaded, gold-friendly, tree-hugging, girly jiggling money.
You don't get us something, no statue. Give him guts.
You play ball like a girl!
You're in no man's land now, baby.
One ugly motherfucker.
Truck driving, low-riding, belching, biting, holding money.
Hey, dude, let me tell you something. Roll out my 4-point traffic.
You need us jar opening, oil changing, spiders squishing, furniture rearranging men.
What are you? Some Chabala or something?
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait. There we go. Ha, ha, ha. Oh, man, I'll tell you. Here we are. It's that time of the month. It's that time of the month. Is it that time of the month? Yes. Well, yes, it is. Is that time of the month for Men Rule the World. Here with the boys. Got myself a nice cigar. Oh, man, this one's a beauty. And we're going to get into something pretty darn interesting tonight. So let's go ahead and let's bring on the crew from San Jose. He is a Chicano studies teacher. My boy, my brother, one Mr. Robert Anthony.
What's going on? What's going on? Hope everybody's doing well. Ed, how you doing tonight?
Good, good, good. I really should have this queued up. I always forget. All right, here we go. A little bit late, but it's here. Here we go. Nice applause, man. And Fred will be jumping on soon. He's having little technical difficulties, nothing he can't handle because he's a man.
Yes,
he's a man. So
yes, just in case people were wondering, he's finishing the last letter, I believe, to Harrison Ford, right, for the fan club.
Right. The fan club for Han Solo, man.
Yes.
Hey, Robert, how you been, man? How's life treating you?
Life is good, man. You know, I know people always will start off saying life is good, but I really have no complaints, man. You know what I mean? School started. We're in our second week, and new batch of students, and just it's nice to see the new fresh faces and the new students, and it's just everything's good, man. You know what I mean? I'm blessed. I thank the Lord for that.
Okay. How's the new school?
It's cool, man. It's cool. The students are cool. You got to just start to get to know them at first, and it's been a pleasant surprise so far. It really has. The maturity is a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Don't get me wrong. There's still, it's not perfect, and who knows how I'll be talking next month. But the first 2 weeks, the honeymoon phase of school has been a pleasant surprise.
Do you teach just all high school grades, or is there a certain grade?
This year I'm teaching. This year's a trip because this year I'm teaching 7th and 8th grade.
Oh, that's junior high.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The maturity level has been. At first I was like, oh man, this. But I'll tell you what, man, I've been very pleasantly surprised, even on the redirects. You know what I mean? Because some of them, it's you could tell the 7th graders especially, they're coming from elementary school where they were a lot of them with one teacher the whole day. Remember in elementary school, then all of a sudden you go to middle school and you started going to every single class. So, you got to learn all your teachers and all your teachers' personalities and be on time to class and this and that. So I like this age group because I don't ever think it's too young to start letting our young people know that, this is the person you're going to start to become. Start forming these good habits now. I don't think we should wait till we're in high school. We should start letting them know, everything that you do counts. You know what I mean? You're making your reputation. You're making your, who you are. What do you want your name to carry when people say it? I know people can change, and they often do, and they often mature, right? But You start now. You start forming those good habits now. So I do a lot of things to try to make sure that I'm touching more than just the classroom.
Mhm.
I think there's a lot of other important things that we need to teach some of our students that we don't know. And like I've always told you, man, I get a bigger thrill when I see that they're maturing as a person than any date they've ever remembered.
Okay. Okay.
Like if you and me were talking and the student came up to me and said, "Hey, excuse me, is it okay if I talk to you for a second?" Instead of just going to you, "Hey," it's like, whoa, that's not how you talk to people. Right? But when they do it, when you model it for them, and then you see them do it, excuse me, Mr. Ward, after this class, can we, this and that? Yeah, of course. Give me 1 second. I get a bigger thrill out of that when a young man or a young woman comes up to me and they address you properly. Or, the other day, a young man let a girl go first. Oh, go ahead. You know what I mean? When you started, I like to see that.
Right.
I really do. I know that sounds kind of corny, but I'm old school like that. I like to see the manners. I tell my class all the time when I give them something, you don't gotta say thank you, but I appreciate it when you do. Right. And most of the people will say, "Hey, thank you." There's always that one stubborn person who's like, "Well, I'm not going to say thank you." Cool, you don't have to. But I appreciate it when you do. I remember it when I do.
Right.
Things like that I like to see.
Okay. For those of those coming, I see you, Derek. We see you, Artie Familia. You ain't right, Artie. You ain't right. We'll get into the subject on the 10-minute mark, man. Let's see if Fred gets to jump in. Yeah, like for me, man, I'm really preparing this year for next year. Like there is some major changes coming in my life next year. God first, right? God willing. I mean, God willing, if it's in his plans. But I'm really using this year to prepare for next year. And I need to appreciate the here and now because I'm like so looking forward to hurrying up and finishing up this year so I could get next year started already. But I shouldn't do that. I should, appreciate every single day and be like, okay, I'm here now. We're not next year. We'll get there eventually, but I'm here now. I should appreciate it, man. So, it's a time.
Let me ask you this: is there anything you could elaborate on? What's so exciting about next year? Is there something that you got like, hey, man, and I don't want to get into if it's too early, then it's just too early, and it's cool, respect. But is there anything that you could just touch on, like, hey, man, this is, if God's willing and if it's God's plans, this is what I'm looking forward to doing next year.
Well, if anybody's wondering, I'm not transitioning, that's for sure. With that, you know what? I'll talk to you guys off air, man. I'll talk to you guys off air. Now, for those of you, for those of you like saying, what do you mean, you guys? It's only just Robert. No, actually, from Two-Face Entertainment, we got the one and only one, Mr. Fred Segura.
What's up, fellas? Sorry I'm late.
Here he is.
No, we got it, man. Hey, you had to do your hair. It had to look perfect.
Yeah, bro. And then you know what? I went to the store and then a bunch of like fans and women approached me, bro. And I'm like, I gotta go. I'm busy. I kidding. Anyways, brother, I'm good. How you guys doing? Good to see you, Robert. Good to see you.
A second, man. It's great to see you, man. How are you?
Good, brother. Good. Just right here.
Awesome.
Oh man, dude. Anyway, go ahead.
Fred, you going to the store and having women swarm you is kind of what we're gonna get into a little bit, man. So let's go ahead and let's get into this, man. My cigar here. It's just taste, man. It tastes like coconut. All right, what's up? What's up, Andrew? Saludos to everybody jumping in here. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get into tonight's subject on men rule the world. It is great to be a man. I don't care what anybody tells you guys. It is great to be a man. You are the most powerful thing you could ever be on this planet. So let's go ahead and let's get into the subject. Now, this came to me because probably I'm gonna say this, fellas. I'm not like huge on social media, right? But I don't have TikTok or any of that stuff. I got Instagram because I have YouTube, and people always say like, "Hey, man, connect. You want if I want to get somebody on YouTube, they're always like, hey, hit me up on Instagram. And it's like, all right, well, I'll go ahead, I'll get an IG account, you know. So and I started messing around with a little bit of IG, and it's like, oh, okay, like the stories and stuff. It's pretty cool, right? And I've been seeing for, I don't know, maybe about a year and a half or so, a lot of videos of women saying that men aren't dating anymore. Men aren't going to dating spots, that there's singles nights at many different places. Including church. I saw videos where churches are having singles night. Different venues are having singles night. And the vast majority that show up in drones is women. Men aren't showing up to a lot of these events. Men are not apparently, okay. Apparently, this is what I'm seeing. Men are not going out. Men are not socializing at, you know, bars or, you know, wherever it may be where socializing took place for dating and things of that sort. That men aren't just, they're not there anymore. And if you throw a singles event, single cruises and everything, it's littered with women and a very, very, very small percentage of men. And I've been seeing more and more videos of like, hey, men have given up on dating. Men are not dating anymore. Men are not approaching women. And whenever there's men around, they're just not approaching women, you know. And there's so many videos. You could find so many videos of a lot of girls, a lot of them attractive ladies, by the way, that are saying men just aren't approaching them. They're under the same roof at a sports bar or something somewhere. And men just kind of keep to themselves. They just kind of hang out with their buddies or hang out with their buddy that they showed up with, you know, drink a beer, have a good time, don't even really look towards the women's direction. And, you know, they call it a night and that's it. And it just seems like there's this epidemic of men have just kind of, in a general sense, right? In a general sense, men have just kind of like, hey, you know what? I'm checking out of dating. So we're going to get into more in detail throughout all this. But first of all, let me go ahead and pass it around just in a whole general sense. I'll start with you, Fred. What's your thoughts on this?
Well, I've seen a lot of videos too, man, where a lot of men are just, I don't know, I don't want to say intimidated. They're just pretty much fed up with a lot of the demands a lot of women are expecting out of a man at you know, at this point in time, you know. They're living, they expect to be, you know, pampered and stuff like that, which, I mean, yeah, in a sense, you know, I get it, but it's, I mean, to me, honestly, those times are kind of fading away pretty fast, bro. So I think men are just, you know, they want a real woman in the sense that a real woman who's more dealing with reality, not expecting him to make so much amount of money a year or whatnot, you know. That's it.
Okay. All right. Robert, we're going to get more into detail, into specifics, but just overall, what's your thoughts on this?
I'm not buying it. You know, videos or not. I've seen videos on that as well, on all of the platforms. And, you know, I've seen videos about aliens. I'm not buying that either. You know what I mean? I'm not buying that that men are, that's the issue. I'm not buying it at all by any means. Am I buying that? You know, and if women are saying that, I just got to start questioning and thinking to myself, like, where are you going, and what type of men are you trying to qualify? You know, are you shooting down men who approach you, and then saying like, hey, where are all the good men? Well, 4 of them approached you. You know, so I would just have to have more some more depth on the situation, but I'll tell you what, I don't see that. You know, I see a lot of comments from a lot of people putting things in, and already right off the bat, it's like, you know, women want this, or women are like men now, and this and that. I think like you said, we're going to get into it, but I think there's a bigger dynamic going on than men aren't approaching women. I think it's bigger than that.
Okay. All right. Let me read a study here. Study says, yes, the percentage of young adults actively dating is down significantly, pointing to what researchers call a dating recession. I've never heard that. Only about 31% of unmarried young adults between the ages of 22 to 35 report being an active daters who date once a month or more, while roughly 74% of single women and 64% of single men have either not dated at all or dated only a few times over the past year. Okay. There's a couple of keys here of what they bring up. So this is only talking about ages between 22 and 35. We'll get into age groups, definitely. One says here, low confidence. About one in three young adults feel confident in their dating skills, trust their judgment in picking a partner, or feel comfortable discussing their feelings. Okay. Another one has financial pressures. Rising cost forces many single Americans to scale back. With Gen Z adults, I don't keep up with generations like that. I don't know what Gen Z is. Gen Z adults spending average of $205 per date. If anybody could let me know, unless you guys know, what's the age group between for Gen Zs? I don't really keep up with that. If anybody on the chat knows, throw it out there. Another one, app burnout. High subscription costs and exhaustion from digital swiping have caused millions to pull back from mainstream dating apps. Okay. So this
real quick, yet I got Gen Z. I'm sorry, real quick, I got Gen Z down as a demographic cohort born roughly from 1997 to 2012. Gen Z.
Okay. So that's
okay. So they proceed roughly from following millennials and preceding Generation Alpha, which is something new. Also known as the first true digital natives. Their upbringing has been heavily shaped by smartphones, social media, economic shifts, and global events like the COVID pandemic.
Okay. All right. So they fit, I guess, into this age group that they're talking about right here, 22, 35 years old, which is, fairly young. 35, it's kind of getting up there if you're not married. 35, okay. After hearing this study where, yes, percentage of young adults actively dating is down. I mean, you got 64% of single men that have not dated or are that only dated a few times over the past year. I will say this. I think it's a different answer. Obviously, it's a different answer individually, but just generalizing, I think it's a different answer for older heads and younger heads. When it comes to the younger heads, I think there's a couple of reasons. One, I would say the way they were raised, I'm not sure if young men have that confidence with a lot of screen time to go up and approach a woman. I think I was speaking about this earlier. I did an early live. I brought this up. Do people go out to date anymore, or do you just meet somebody online and then ask them out on a date? When it comes to the younger generation, right? The three of us here are a little bit older. When it comes to those younger guys, I'm not sure if them approaching a woman is just natural, if it just comes natural to them. I'm not really sure. Robert, do you put anything in that when it comes to the younger generation of men?
Oh yeah, I think one of the downfalls is the phone. You don't gotta go up and talk to somebody more. You can text them. So there's no, I don't know. like you said, we're a little all older, so I can remember being with my friends, maybe being at a mall, or even when we got older, being at a club. And if you wanted to go ask somebody to dance or go, hey, that girl's pretty at the mall, and you wanted to go up to her, your friends were behind you, man. If you got shot down, that walk of shame back to your boys was like, what happened? And you know what I mean? So it kind of toughened your skin. You know what I mean? It kind of toughened your skin. You had to try your approach different and like, hey, how am I going to get this number? Not only do I want a number, but all my boys are here and Mike just got a number. How come I couldn't get one? And you know what I mean? So it toughens your skin a little bit. You know what I mean? I tell the young guys all the time, I used to tell them all the time, man, if I was around at your age, I'd be texting everybody. Big deal. If they say no to you, let's go to the next text. And just a quick story. I don't want to monopolize a lot of time, but even in high, when I was chaperone dances for the high school, right? I would talk to the students in my class, and the guys that I had a good relationship like, hey, you go to the dance? And someone would be like, yeah. I'm like, do you dance? Oh, Mr. Warden, wait till you see me. I'm gonna be over there, and I'm the one, man. I'm gonna be getting my groove on and blah blah blah. And then I get to the dance, and there's 30 girls on this side and 30 guys on that side. I would go by. I'm like, what happened? Yeah. I thought you were gonna go. Do you want to? And then I would make fun of them. Do you want to text her? She's right there. You know what I mean? They would just be like, I don't know. You know what I mean? So I think the phone is one of the downfalls, man. All this technology is a downfall. I think a lot of people's skills, a young man doesn't know how to approach a young woman the right way.
Okay. And I think Chuko, we're gonna get into some of that as well. We're definitely gonna get into some of that as well. People ask for IG. Yeah, back in the day, you asked for somebody's number.
Yes.
And even if they had a pager, their pager number, even before pagers, sometimes you just write it on your hand or something, and then you hit them up. But now, everybody's asking for their IG, oh, they hit me up on IG or something of that sort, right? So, Fred, do you think generationally, like the younger vatos, man, the young homies, like they have a little bit more reservations because they don't know how to really approach a woman because a lot of it, they grew up with a lot of technology.
Yeah, I believe that because just like as Robert was saying, bro, from at least the older generation, we had to interact with people. Today, a lot of people's skills are gone, bro, because everything's on the phone. Due to they can do FaceTime, which is not the same as being in person, which is text messages, messages on whatever it is, Back then, we had to walk up and you had to have some kind of skill, like, hey, what's your name? Kind of, whatever it was that we threw out there, bro. And you're right, Robert. Your buddies would be right there, like, so what happened? What if you scored a phone number or whatnot, bro? That's the honest to God truth, bro. I'll tell you guys a quick little story, and it's fast. This one girl one time, this was back in the 90s, she was eyeballing me, and we were at this buffet place. She kept eyeballing me. She worked there. She wasn't eyeballing me because I was eating all kinds, all right, guys. I was about thinner back then. I looked good, bro. Anyways, so I get her, I pulled her number, everything's good. I waited, I asked her when's a good time to call. She told me when. I called her. I told you this off camera before, Total. And I called her, and then she said, hey, where you at or whatever. She thought I lived in the same city. I told her where I was at. And then she goes, oh, you're over there? And I said, well, yeah. And then it turned into be a gang thing, bro. And then she cussed me out and hung up on me. And I was like, hey, wait, I don't gangbang. That was it, bro. I never heard from her again. And she was a cutie too, bro, back then. I mean, yeah, but see, those are the things that we went through, though, bro. You call, you talk to them on the phone for a little bit, and then you got to know them. Now you don't. Now that doesn't exist, bro. You met them in person.
The funny thing to me, because we're talking about this, is like being young and like getting to know a young lady, right? And you want to know, does she have a man, right? You don't know if she has some. And it always used to crack me up when a girl would tell me like, well, I don't have a man, but I'm talking to someone. I always be like, what does that mean? You're talking to me right now. Oh, me and so we're talking. What does that mean? Can you elaborate? Is do I gotta watch my back? What's going? What you guys are just talking? What's going? What does he think? You feel me? I know we've all heard that.
Yeah. No,
Oh
yes.
yeah. Hey, I like what Droop's put right here. The party line. Oh man, that party line
yeah.
was
The
happening.
party
homie.
line was a thing.
That
You know
party line was happening. Yeah, back in the day, paper and pen. Yeah, if you were going to a party or something, you took a pen with you.
Yeah.
You definitely took a pen. I remember that. I was just saying, like, you got a pen with you. And you know what? Something that you guys are bringing. Oh man, you guys are bringing back some memories. Talking about like, oh hey, you're with your boys, dog. So that was the thing. Hanging out with the boys once upon a time, they'd be like, hey man, hey, go get that high nice number, dog. Come on. And they will pump you up. They'll pump you like, come on. And then you go, and if you get rejected, you're gonna hear it from them, So you're right, Robert. Like there was a little bit of tough skin right there. It's like, hey, come on, you're a punk, dog. Like you ain't gonna go hit her up. Come on, she's right there, dog. And then you go, you hit her up. Sometimes you get her number. If you didn't get her number, then all right, man. Then you're gonna hear it from them. But yeah, I think young men didn't grow up with that. They didn't grow up with that. It was all technology. And I also want to point this out as well. And not just blame young men that they don't have backbone, but also the repercussions when it comes to humiliation with this. Let me go ahead and play this little audio right here. And I want to go ahead and talk a little bit about it. Let's get to this audio real quick.
That over 60% of men under 30.
Can you guys hear that?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Over 60% of men under 30 are single. Many men feel frustrated, left out, and dissatisfied with their sex lives and relationships. Social media, dating apps, and a competitive dating culture only exacerbate the problem for men who already feel left behind. In this video, we'll explore why so many men feel disillusioned by modern dating and what's driving this growing frustration. The attractiveness gap. About 80% of men were rated unattractive or simply below average by women. This perceived gap in attractiveness is one of the driving factors behind why young men feel they're never enough in the dating world. When in doubt, porn. Young men might be developing a dependence on porn to cope with feeling shut out of real-life relationships. Young men are watching a lot of social media. They're watching a lot of porn, and I think they're getting a lot of their needs met without having to go out. Digital burnout, doom scrolling through posts of alpha males who seem to be financially, socially, and emotionally secure in every way. Of course, a lot of what we see on social media is smoke and mirrors, but even with that thought in mind, it's difficult not to internalize it. So what are your thoughts on the male dating crisis? Did you know?
All right. I want how technology has really been a part of young men's lives, right? There was a lot that she touched on right there. Yeah. One is humiliation, right? It's like, hey, now you gotta worry about somebody recording you. You gotta worry if you make a phone call, like how you said, Robert, how you said once upon a time, like, hey, you know what? Like how you said, Robert, hey, I'll be texting every girl, right? And if she says no or doesn't text you back, all right, go to the next one. But now those texts get blasted out there on social media. Now those texts get out there. Oh, so-and-so was trying to get at me. Here's the proof. Now, things that we didn't have to go through when we were kids. I mean, or kids, well, when we were young, but I mean, word to mouth here and there, but that really didn't go anywhere really. But now it's like, oh, let's blast this person. Oh, dude, so-and-so was trying to get at me. Here's the text. I mean, is there anything really wrong? If you said anything wrong, no, but now they're plastering it out there that, hey, he tried to get at me and I shut him down, right? Yeah, really humiliation? Probably not. But I think that does something to somebody where it's like, you know what, man? I don't know. I think I better be careful. Even though you didn't say anything wrong in the text, you just ask her like, hey, what's up? You want to get together sometime, and she throws it out there to everybody to see, like, hey, oh, he tried to get at me, wanted to take me out. And I said, heck no, and boom, here's the text to prove it. And it's like, why you gotta do all that, right? So now next time, maybe the dude's gonna be like, I don't know, man, maybe not, you know. So I mean, social media has really become, it can be a blessing and it can be a weapon as well, you know, and a lot of people do use it for poisonous stuff. Porn is there as well. I mean, heck, man. Look, I don't want to go down this route, but son of a bastard, man. When I was a kid, man, you want to watch porn, it was tough. It was like, yeah, you did not just get the phone and, hey, man, just go to a porn site. It was, look, the kid that had the Playboy, where he knew where his dad stashed his Playboy, dude, that kid was like the coolest kid on the block. And that's just showing, you know, that's just showing breast.
Yeah.
You know, that's just a picture, right? If you want to go, you would watch old movies just to see a little nudity. Yes. I mean, porn, it's not as exciting as it is today. Back then, if you had a black box, they would have like the porn with the squiggly lines, and you listen a little bit, like, oh, maybe I saw a little something right there. I mean, I'm just being real, man. I'm keeping it real. I'm keeping it old school. I'm sure everybody knows what I'm talking about.
That was so funny that you said that.
Everybody on the chat, everyone on the chat, you're a bunch of saints. About homes, okay? I'm living on my own planet. Yeah, right. Yeah, so it was much different. And today, man, you could get the most sickest, raunchiest stuff that you didn't even know existed. Yeah. I mean, quick de voladas like that. So I think that, you know, that takes a toll on a young person, on a young male growing up as well. You know, yes. Because it was much different back in the day. You weren't getting porn like that. It was tough, man.
Now it's at your fingertips, right?
It's at your fingertips.
It's right here.
And the thing is, Robert, it's not that it's just at your fingertips. It's whatever your mind can ever come up with. It's like you didn't have a choice back in the day.
Right.
You didn't have a choice. If somebody had, you know, a Playboy, you didn't ask, okay, what kind of girl is she? Blonde? Is she brunette? Is it a black girl, an Asian girl? You didn't care. There were no options, man. If it was there, it was there. You know, if somebody actually had a VHS porn, you weren't asking like, well, I mean, you know, is there threesomes? Is there, you know, is it just guy, girl? Do you have girl? You weren't asking anything. It's just like, okay, you didn't have those options. That's what I'm saying. Today, it's a lot more sickening how young men can get sick on it, because now it isn't on the fingertips, but it could take you down this rabbit hole and take you to some real raunchy, sickening stuff. So yeah, I think social media definitely plays a big role on this. We didn't grow up with it. We got it, you know, already as adults. So we take it in a little bit different than what young men take it in. Go for it, Fred.
No, that's very true, bro. And then you had the one homie that, hey, you know, my parents are at work, bro, nobody's home, and everybody gathers to go to his house. Because he had the VHS, or the homie that had the VHS would take it to that homie's house where nobody, you know, the adults weren't home, and you all got together and watched stuff like that, bro. That was a thing. That was just a thing back then, bro. That's how it worked. You know what? Can I add something to what we spoke on earlier about meeting in person and stuff like this, right? Due to social media, I will say this. Back then, you could not get catfished because you met the person in person. The only way, and this happened to all of us, guys. Come on, let's keep it real here. It happened to all of us. The only way we got catfished, bro, is when we took one for the team, bro. And then the homie goes, hey, bro, I met up this chick. She's got a friend. Hey, she's kind of cute, bro. And then you show up, and it was nothing like that. But you're like, okay, bro, I'm going to back you up. And it was just, that's what it was, dog. You know?
It's like the movie Mo Money when he said, you know, they had different fathers, man. Great movie, by the way. Great movie.
Or Friday, right? Janet Jackson.
Janet Jackson. Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
So I think we all need to take that into consideration when it comes to younger men. We're gonna get into older men as well in a second, but I think we need to take all that into consideration when it comes to younger men, right? The internet, access to porn. If you text somebody and ask them out or something, maybe she can blast it out all over social media, let everybody know that she rejected you. And, you know, even if you didn't say anything wrong, it's still out there. It's like, oh man, I heard you wanted to go out with so-and-so. Yeah, she blasted it. Like, I don't know why that becomes such a thing. I don't get it. I don't like it. But yeah, all that can be taken into consideration. I also think that's one side, but I also believe there's another side where there are a group of young men that are deciding on their own, you know what, I'm gonna focus on my career. I'm gonna focus on my life. I think there's a portion, how big or how small, I don't know, but I believe there is a portion of young men that don't care about getting in a relationship or dating. They're looking to get a career. They're looking to educate themselves. They're looking for their future. I'll tell you guys this, man. Once upon a time, since we're talking about back in the day, right? I remember being in high school. Man, you make fun of homies that were virgins.
Yeah.
It's like, what? You know, if you're 15, you're 16, you're 17, it's like, I was a virgin. I was a straight lame dog. You know what I mean? He's a virgin. Yeah. You know, I'm not sure that happens on a large scale like that anymore. I'm sure it still happens with some young men, but I don't think it happens as prevalent as it used to. Once upon a time, man, you better keep your mouth shut. If you were 17 years old in high school and you were a virgin, you better keep that to yourself. You're better off just lying and said like, yeah, you know, I've been with somebody, because you get clowned on. You know, I don't think I don't think it's like that today on a large scale. Yeah. And I think which is a good thing, I think celibacy is actually, I'm not gonna say it's looked at as cool, but I think it's a lot more accepted with people than it once was, once upon a time. I mean, I didn't even know what celibacy meant even back then. Nobody cared. It's just, this dude can't get laid, man. Let's make fun of him. Yeah. You know, I think that's more of what it was. Robert, I'll start with you, man. What do you see with young kids? Do you see them out there trying to get some, or do you see them a little bit more reserved and, you know, focus more on their life?
That's a tough one, man. You know, you always see that one. You always see that one couple that's just too serious for high school. We've all seen that couple. It's like, man, these guys, they can't be separated, right? And that's unhealthy. You know what I mean? When you're 15, 16 years old and you're constantly that couple, you know what I mean? Where it's just like, that's too much. You know what I mean? And then you just see, you know, you see just like when we were in high school, it hasn't changed too much, man, where, you know, you see the guys who are you know, always trying to get at it. You know what I mean? They're just always throwing their shot, taking their shot. You know what I mean? You got your guys who are, you know, you think that they're cool and this and that, and you're right, man. They might not have ever even been with the girl yet. You know what I mean? And you can just see by a lot of way that the interactions are. You know, especially now that we're older, we can see like people who are, well, that guy's pretty comfortable around, you know, and then you see other guys who are, when you sit him next to a girl or you see him at lunch, they get all, that guy's never, you know, you can tell, you can just see it now, right? But I'm going to say something, and I hate to get off track with everything, man, but I'm going to go to this, man, and we talked about this, and I'm going to always bring it up, man, is that I think a lot of the issues too, man, is the ramifications of a lot of young men not having a man in their life, a dad, to show them what a healthy relation looks like, how I should treat a woman. You know, we look at the internet, and let's say, for example, some young guy's into porn, man, he's going to think that he's going to have false expectation. Like, this girl's supposed to be like this, and she's supposed to do this and do that, and I'm supposed to talk to her like this and that. When you don't got a man to show you how to be a man, and I hate to sound redundant out there, man, but it's important. You know what I mean? It's important to have a man out there to, hey man, don't say that to that girl, or don't talk like that to that young. Even if it's about, to lack of a better word, even if it's about gaming a girl, you don't talk to her like that. She'll never like you. Even a dude who's a womanizer knows, hey man, talk to her a little bit. Even if that was your thing, but we just don't have guys to show guys how to be men anymore. And if you only see your mom have bad relationship after bad relationship, and you've only seen those type of guys, you think to yourself, oh, that must be normal. And then your friends the same way. And then you guys are going about it, and you guys are learning on the fly because you don't know any better. Not knowing any better isn't an excuse, but man, some of these guys never had a guy just sit them down and like talk to them about the younger ladies.
So
what I mean, or how to act and interact. Right. So
Right.
some guys will be out of pocket and say the crazy. And those are the guys when you grow up, when you're older, you think to yourself, we all got that homeboy who says something, you're like, dude, we were all talking all cool now. Why would you say that? This whole group of girls just got up and left now because you don't know how to, you still are awkward.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And I think it carries. I think it's important, man. A lot of young men here, and a lot of young women here, oh, I don't need a man. He ain't nothing. I don't need him. You hear that enough, man. Some of these young ladies start thinking, I don't need a man.
Yeah, and we're gonna get get to that too. We're gonna get to that too. Hey, Derek, real fast. Yeah, no, we didn't. I brought up Mo Money, and then Fred brought up Friday. What happened to Smokey? That's why I said Janet Jackson, because the chick from Friday, she said she looks like Janet Jackson. So yeah, no. Yeah, Janet Jackson was not in the movie Mo Money, but
we know that.
yeah. Fred, thoughts?
I mean, you know what? I mean, I'm at a loss for words, bro. I'll just hold on. Ask the question again. I'm sorry, because I went into the whole thing right now too, bro. I'll just into to Robert. And you're right, Robert. I agree with that of not being a man not being in the picture, and guys having to learn on the fly on their own, bro, and not knowing how to treat a lady in a sense, or having any kind of etiquette. So I agree with you on that. I agree with you 100%, bro. So yeah, on that part, yeah, bro. But what was the question?
I would say because we're gonna change it up here. I'm gonna say this as well. Not having a man around, we always talk about how it affects other men and young men, right? And it does. Okay, it really, really does. But the effect that it has on young ladies as well, on women. Okay, that's why I hate the fact that we normalize broken homes. I don't like that, even though I contributed to it. Man, that's a chain that really should be broken. Like, no, man, let's stop with the whole normalizing that, hey, stepmom, stepdad, stepkid, step half brother, half sister. Let's stop all that, man. All this modern family kind of stuff. Like, no, one mom, one dad that love one another together as one. Kids see dad loving mom, mom loving dad. Don't get weird on me. I just mean just loving each other, and mom submitting to her husband, husband tending to his wife. That stuff can go so far. But also, we have a bunch of ladies out there, not all ladies, just like not all young men. We have a bunch of ladies out there. There are a bunch of foul-mouthed women that don't know how to be ladies because they were raised by a single mother. They were raised by a mother that is scarred and angry inside, and they didn't have that male figure that's supposed to be to a young girl growing up. Dad is supposed to be that very, very first interaction with a man that I'm going to respect him, he's supposed to show her, hey, this is how a man treats you, and how she submits to her father right? And how she listens and gets authority from her father, right? I mean, if it's an abusive father, then what happens usually? She goes out and gets an abusive man, right? But if it's a good father, I'm not talking about an abusive father, but if it's a good father, she actually is going to grow up and be able to submit to a good man. She's not going to have this foul mouth and cussing at men and disrespecting men. A lot of those women, a lot of them, they come from either damaged relationships with their father or no relationship with their father, because that is supposed to be their approach to men right there, that father figure. That's why it's so important for fathers and daughters. That is the lady that you're raising. Now you got a bunch of women that are all tattooed up. They have foul mouths. They're angry. They have kids. They're not with their dad. They're not with the father of their kids. And they're just angry out there. And they put themselves. They surround themselves with other angry women. Just like that, and they call themselves strong women. It's like, because we're strong women, we're strong. It's like, what makes you a strong woman? The fact that you have tattoos, you cuss a lot, and you're not with the father of your kids. Like, how does that make you a strong woman? I don't let a man tell me what to do. That is a woman that grew up with a damaged father or a damaged relationship with her father, or an absent father completely. And that's very unfortunate. And if you got more ladies like that out there now, and you got more guys out there that have fathers, this is why we should not normalize this whole separation of family. Like, no, it's done so much damage generation after generation after generation, and so many of us have contributed to it. Yeah. I call myself out. I contributed to that. Yeah. I don't want that to continue. We got to stop that.
Yeah, the breakup of the nuclear family has damaged our society. It truly has. And just to comment on what you said real fast, Fred, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I just wanted to say, I think that women, you got to realize that being loud and foul-mouthed and unwilling to engage doesn't make you strong. Women mistake being loud and taking on mannerisms that almost too masculine as strong. That's not a strong woman. A strong woman is a woman who's competent. Competence is strength. You know what I mean? But a lot of women will be like, they start getting all loud and what you say? And you're like, I'm a strong female. And it's like, that is not, you're not displaying somebody who's strong. I could be, unfortunately, I got a very loud voice. I just do. I could be louder than anybody in the room. That doesn't make me the strongest one.
Yeah.
If I have no competence, if I have no moral integrity, if I have no values, if I have no strength of character, I'm lacking.
Yeah.
I'm using I'm projecting strength knowing I don't have it. And I think that's what a lot of these women do. They're projecting strength and they want to portray an image of strength. It's because they know deep down inside they really don't have it. So this is the way to compensate. But that's just one man's opinion. A hell of a man, but just one man's opinion.
Right on, brother. Right on. I like that.
Any woman watching this, you're enemy number one, bro. Go for it, Fred.
I'll tell you guys what. Based on what both of y'all said, I also believe that a lot of women are being finessed by other women.
Oh,
women who are secure, who have a relationship, who have a home. I'm not saying perfect, but let's just say everything. But see, this is what happens. The outside source, be it the friend, be it whatever, it's like, hey, there's a party out here. There's a party out here. You know, what are you doing? You're doing it, and then, oh, you need to be strong. You need to be this and that. Hey, forget him. Look. And then it becomes like when you're the man of the house and you're leading or whatever, now it becomes like, oh, he's controlling. He's a narcissist. He's just saying that's the biggest thing thrown around today that I see. And I see it because I've seen it on social media. I've seen it on Instagram, pops up a lot on my feed and stuff. And that's a thing where it's like, hey man, like, it's like I'll say it's diabolic for somebody to basically talk somebody out of their home, bro. And, guys, and then it becomes a thing where it's like in my opinion, as a man, and I will say this, at that point, you're damaged goods. There's no return policy. That's just my opinion. That's coming from one man's opinion here, but hey,
the thing about that, man, is like, if with women, especially with women, and some men as well. But
yes,
if I just lost a job, and Ed hasn't had a job in 5 years, he was always losing jobs. Why would I seek advice from Ed about how I should get back to having a job?
Thank you.
Why do women listen to other women who don't have a man, who don't have a successful relationship, and then they'll tell them, see, girl, that's what I'm talking about. That's why your man ain't worth nothing. And it's like, where's your man?
Yes.
Right? But women fall into that. And as far as gaming too, man, I think, and I'm going to say it, man, I think there's another angle too. I've seen other women gaming women because they're attracted to them.
Yeah. Yes.
They're throwing game themselves. You know what I mean? You don't need a man and this and that. All you need is somebody who loves you. I could be that person, and somebody who's had the worst relationships, or somebody who's in a, maybe you can. And then all of a sudden now it's like, wow, you're gotta, and not trying to disrespect nobody out there. And please don't send Ed anything. I'm saying it. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, don't be Ed, how can you have that dude up there? I'm just saying things that I've seen and that I'm commenting on. You could agree with me, you could disagree, but I'm just saying that, I'm just throwing it out.
Robert, it's in the title of this podcast, bro. Men rule the world. That's it. Final sentence. No,
but I don't want Ed to get a bad time because of something I said.
No, I'm messing with you.
And look. In reality, men are supposed to be in charge, right? That's very controversial today. It shouldn't be controversial, but because we poisoned ourselves so much. And here's the thing. When I say men should be in charge, immediately certain people, especially damaged women, immediately go and think about scumbag guys that they've dealt with. I'm not talking about those dudes. I'm not talking about those men. They're scumbag men. Yes, absolutely. Just like they're scumbag women. And but the difference is with the scumbag guys and the scumbag women is the scumbag women, they're not really getting called out on it. They're being more portrayed as some baddie, I think it is. They're being portrayed more as strong, independent, don't need a man. And that is somehow supposed to be cool. That's supposed to be cool. Like, hey, you know what? You don't need a man. Get yourself some tattoos. Have a foul mouth. Don't put up with men. It's supposed to be cool, right? And the scumbag dudes, I mean, I don't know, man. A lot of those dudes kind of hang out on their own, and everybody can see that they're kind of losers and stuff. But yeah, I see women, surrounding themselves with more damaged women like that. And, damage is always going to find damage, right? If you got a damaged man, he finds a damaged woman, boom, they're both damaged. They bleed all over each other. They break up. And now both of them have this perception of women and men, right? In reality, no, it's what you attracted into your life because of the way you are. Who you are, you attracted that into your life. Correct. And now you're saying like, oh, they're like this, they are like that. No, you are like that because you got that into your life. But also just in society, just generally speaking, I'm not sure if young people are really focus so much on dating the way we used to once upon a time. Like I said, once upon a time, if you were a virgin and you were 20 years old or something, man, you keep that to yourself, man. You won't hear the end of it, right? Now, I kind of want to shift forward now to being a little bit older and dating, right? I me myself personally, I have not gone out on a single date, and for well over 2 years now. I don't really. I'm not seeking it.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm not like this either. I'm not like, hey, get away. But I'm not really seeking it. I just it doesn't really interest me. My focus is on many other things outside of that, and it almost feels like it'll be a distraction for me. And so many, when so many guys my age or somewhere around my age say like, hey, peace, choose peace, choose peace. I think because most men and women as well that are of a certain age and are single, I think we've put ourselves through the ringer. And when I say put ourselves, it's because I want to take responsibility. I don't want to put it on somebody else. Hey, you know what? This girl was like that. That girl was like that. Look, once upon a time, and I've said this before, once upon a time in my life, I was a womanizer. I was a womanizer. And, this is before I changed my life. I tried to have some serious relationships here and there. Wasn't really working out. I was a different person at the same time. And, go back to womanizing and to who I am today. I don't really feel like dating, and all that being said, like I said, I'm not completely against it, but all that being said, I don't want to surround myself with a bunch of men that are just, going to be, hey, man, all women are like this, all women are like that. Well, all the women that you dated, yes. Do I think in a general sense, there's a major problem out there with society telling women, don't listen to men. Hey, don't have men control you. Hey, it's you guys are equal 50-50 down the line. Do I think there's a major issue with that? Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. 1000%. I believe there truly is an issue, but that falls with men as well, because that's affecting men as well. Go for it, Robert. I think you have something to say, brother.
Well, just listen to you, man. That for you, that's preference, not opportunity. I would assume in the 2 years you've had opportunity, or you thought to yourself, like, I could probably take that girl out. It's just right now preference for you that you're not dating. Correct?
Right. Yeah. I'm not out there. Yeah, I'm not out there
trying to throw it out there, but there's been opportunity. It's just right now where you're at, that's preference. Right now, for whatever it is, right now it's that season. You just want to focus on you. And if it were to happen, it happens, kind of, right?
Yeah. No, it's definitely preference. Definitely preference. I don't know if it happens. It happens. I might actually shy away from it, but I don't want to make it seem like I'm completely against it either.
Yeah. Okay. And then the other thing that I was going to comment on, since we're talking about now getting a little bit older, is that, we kind of talked about this a little pre-show. We were talking about age groups, and unfortunately, those damaged little girls and those damaged young men that we talked about who don't know how to do it, they grew up to become damaged adults.
Right, man.
Right.
Yes.
And, I am a firm believer that anybody, and I mean anybody, can change their situation. They can be better than they were yesterday. I am a firm believer in that, right? Your future isn't set because of a specific event. You can change it. But unfortunately, a lot of, especially when we get older, we take those terrible moments that we have dating, relationship-wise, and we carry them. Don't get mad at me, and don't yell at me and expect to know every single place. You got to know every place I'm at, because the last guy you went out, you couldn't trust him. So now when I'm telling you I'm going golfing, you really want to know if I'm going golfing, or even worse, I'm getting ready to golf and I see you driving by the golf course. Don't do that because you didn't trust the last guy. Right. And the last thing before I know everybody needs to talk, so I'm sorry, Fred. I keep on monopolizing.
No, you're good. I'm listening, bro. No, you're good.
Another thing, man, is that it's just, as men, I think we've given up a lot in our society. We've allowed us, it's choice. Things just don't happen by accident. It might take a long time, but these are choices that have been made, right? And a lot of times, we've given up a lot of our, I don't want to say our God-given right, but it's our God-given right. We're men. And I'm not saying that to control women. I'm just saying that we are the natural leader. Can a woman lead? Of course they can.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a boss who was a principal. She was a great leader, right? But man's natural position is to lead, especially in a relationship. That is our position. But we've given up a lot where now you hear silly terms like toxic masculinity. The first time I heard that, I was like, what is that? Is there such thing as toxic femininity?
Yeah.
Right? Or I've heard women say things like, yeah, I don't need you to mansplain to me. But when you do it, are you woman-splaining to me? We've almost taken the back seat where okay, you don't need me to mansplain. Let me be quiet, woman.
Right.
No. We need to go back to where, and I'm going to tell you something, and this is reality, and this is a fact. There are more women in college now than men. More women are doing better in college, and women do better in school than men right now.
Yeah.
So in 25 years, when all these women are your bosses and you've given up your right to be the leader, and you're wondering why women are running things, you know why.
Correct.
Because we've given up our authority. We've given up our natural position. Right? We have. Right? And like I said, it wasn't by accident. It might have taken a long time, but it was a choice. Men have chosen to, we're equal and we could all be this. No. I'm the man and you're the woman. Okay? Am I trying to run you? No. But we're going to do this accordingly. But I am the leader of this family and this relationship because I am the man. I'm not going to do you dirty. I'm not going to guide you. I'm going to do it the right way. Got to have some confidence in me. And I got to have confidence in you that you're willing to do that. And not submit to be a slave, but submit because what we're talking about is the right thing to do for us.
I mean, 1,000%. First of all, I've heard of men wanting to just go date women in other countries, man. Look, definitely, 1,000%. Men, we're supposed to be the leaders, right? Now there can be an issue there as well that we do have a generation of men that don't really know how to be leaders, and some of the most angry women are actually the ones that are leaders in their house. Some of the most unsatisfied women are actually the ones that are married that are actually the leaders in their house because that's not her natural position.
Yeah.
But she's with a man, she's with a dude that doesn't know how to lead. She's with the vato that submitted to her as opposed to her submitting to him. Mm-hmm. She is now the alpha, and now he basically just became her older son. That she tells what to do. So that's why, man, we got to get back to our course. Like I said, stop with everybody, man. All the stuff, man. When it comes to the family, I mean, that's really where it starts. No, go for it, Robert. Go for it, brother.
I was gonna say, do you guys have a friend or know somebody or seen somebody? Maybe he's admitted to you, or maybe you've seen it where he's told you something like, "Nah, man, I'm scared of my wife." Or like, I can't do that because I'm scared of my wife.
Okay.
It's funny, but I've seen that before, and I think to myself, like, you're scared of your wife? And I've known guys tell me stuff like, "Oh, come on, I can't do that. You know that my wife won't let me." Your wife won't let you. Now, granted, if you're saying if your wife doesn't want you to go to a strip club in Vegas at a bachelor party where there's going to be 15 strippers and you got $1,000 in your pocket, I can see your wife saying, "Yeah, maybe you shouldn't do that." But if you're going to do something and your wife is just saying, like, "No, you can't do that," or you acknowledging, like, "My wife won't let me just hang out." What? I don't get it.
That's what I was saying. Now the husband becomes like her older son, where she tells him what he can and cannot do. Right now, he's got to be a respectable man. like the scenario that you put right there, Robert, right? If you're going to be the man, you probably shouldn't be wanting to go do that, right? If your buddies want to go do that, you say like, nah, you know what? I'm not going to go involve myself in that, So you got to be that man to follow. Something that I was going to point out, something that you said, Robert, but Alpha went ahead and pointed it out here. You're right that women are doing so much better in school and in college. The thing is, when it comes to women graduating colleges and stuff like that, they're actually getting degrees in dead-end jobs, jobs that don't really lead. They're getting degrees in a lot of things with feelings and just not really like business mindset to go and, run a car dealership or to build infrastructure. They're not really getting degrees in things like that. They're getting degrees in just a lot more just things that don't really lead them anywhere, So not everybody, but yeah, go for it.
But let's be realistic as well. It's not just a get well kind of degree they're getting. Women dominate the education field. Go to a school, we're going to see more women teachers. Who's influencing these young men? Who has them for 6 hours a day? Who are these young men having to submit to? Which isn't bad. I'm not saying women teachers aren't great teachers. You are. God bless you. But I'm just saying women dominate education. Women are going to be more women doctors than men soon.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not just good, dead end jobs. Women are how many times do we turn on the news and you're looking at the congressperson and you're seeing it's another woman? So let's not, women are just getting these good feely jobs. I'm not saying you're doing that, but women are getting jobs of importance, of stature, and things that influence not just our country, but the world. Right? Women are there's a lot of women in business now, right? Pretty soon there's going to be a time where more women are going to be Fortune 500 CEOs and COOs and CFOs. That day's coming. Why? Because they're going to college and eventually they make transitions, right? So I'm just saying, you're right. They do get a lot of jobs that are I don't know, not a STEM job. Like, men dominate STEM right now, right? But women are getting places and they're going into places where they are dominating. That is a profession of women. It's starting to be more known that, wow, you want to have a good profession, you can become a doctor. A lot of women doctors out there. Look it up. You know what I mean? There's a lot of women congresswomen, a lot of women governors. So they're starting to make it happen. And if you don't know if you're not taking care of business, don't be surprised 20 years from now when you're looking up and all your bosses are women telling you what to do. But by that time, you probably already relinquished the two that you got. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. It is what it is.
Fred, what's your thoughts on? We're talking about younger people. Now we're talking about more older people. What's your thoughts about single older people still not really dating?
Again, I think it's just more of it depends on the relationship. I think that they had prior. I think a lot of the stuff today, I think it's a lot easier to date being older because I would like to think that, and not all of them, because there is a lot older women and men that expect this extravagant lifestyle that ceases to exist and only exists in again, like I sound like a broken record here. It only exists in social media. The grass is greener on social media. Everything's the best. Real life does not bring you that. It's like Alpha said a little while ago. A happy wife has a happy life equals happy. You know what? It's really not that simple anymore, man. Because I think an older person.
Well, he said, just to be fair, Fred, fair, he said that equals a simp.
Oh, simp.
Yeah, he said happy wife, happy life equals simp.
Okay. I thought he meant simple.
Yeah, so basically it's a dude that gives up his balls
Yes.
and for the happy wife, happy life.
You know, and oftentimes, you know what? Oh, I'll get back to that. But I think a lot of people, older men, probably just, and I've met a lot of guys, that are just like, man, I don't want nothing. I'm just, whatever. I'm seeing somebody, every now and then, and that's it, bro. I don't want anything, That's really on them, bro. I mean, I think they say they're happy. That's cool, I mean, hey, that's what it is.
I feel you on that, but you know what? Going back to that happy life, happy wife, your wife's gonna be happy if you're making the right decision as a competent man. So there's nothing wrong with happy life, happy wife. That doesn't mean happy wife. Hey, I need $10,000. Okay, let me go get an extra job to give you money. Hey, I want to go out with my girls while you stay home and watch the kids. That's not happy life, happy wife. I'm going to do whatever she says. But if you're leading, like we talked about, and you're being that man of competence, of respect, you're treating her well, you're respectful, and you're doing all, she's going to be happy. And if she's not, then again, that's something that she's going to have to reflect with and deal with. You know what I mean? She might have her own issues going on, because most people, whether it's a job, a relationship between a man and a male, even two friends, most people, if you treat that person well and respectful, they reciprocate it. They're appreciative of it. There's always your outliers who's still going to take advantage of you. But if you have a boss who treats you well, who takes care of you and does the things, and he's a great leader, it's not that big of a deal when he says, hey, man, do you think you come in on Saturday for 4 hours, man? I really need you. You look back and think to yourself, man, that dude's always been on point with me. Man, I can do that for you. Right? Now, imagine the flip side. You've asked that boss, hey, man, I need to go see my son graduate. Can I get off early? No. Hey, I'm running a little bit late. Okay, but I'm going to write you up. Hey, and all of these things. And then 6 months later, he says, Ed, you know what? I'm got to catch a plane. Do you think I know it's your day off? You could come in 4 hours and do 4 hours for me? Nope. Why? Right. Because he wasn't a good leader. He wasn't competent. It wasn't reciprocated. Same with any relationship, right? Yes. Most people are going to treat you well if you treat them well. Again, there's always your people who take advantage of you. There's always your people who hey, try to game you. But most of the time, people treat you accordingly.
Yes.
In my opinion.
You're right. And I wanted to, because I read his comment, but yeah, I wanted to say exactly what you said though, Robert, because I think the happy wife, happy life thing, I think that saying always comes from guys that don't wear the pants in the house. I think that's why that saying kind of gets that stigma to it, where it's like, oh, that means your woman wears the pants. So I don't want anybody to think that, hey, you know what, your wife needs to be unhappy for you to be the leader in your house. Like, no, she will be happy, but it's just over time, so many years, every time you hear that happy wife, happy life, it usually comes from guys that have relinquished their leadership to their wives. And those are the guys that you were talking about, Robert. Those are the guys that you go, and it's like they need to ask their wives permission, for whatever it is. They need to ask their wives permission. It's like their wives became their mother. And usually those are the guys that you hear from, like happy wife, happy life, right? You don't really hear that too much from the guys that have leadership, even though their wife really truly is happy.
Right.
Even though their wife really truly is happy, you don't really hear that from them. So I think that's kind of what it gets. Go for it.
I was going to say too, though, on that topic, excuse me, is that oftentimes too, though, and Robert touched on it. He said it. There's sometimes you're giving to the wrong person that no matter what, she's not appreciating it whatsoever. So it's not really that simple that you're giving. You're working hard. You're doing what you're doing, because it's never going to be enough. And that's where it becomes a problem too. And again, we go back to the beginning of what we were talking about with social media for both men and women. Social media has given us a false hope that there is other options and better options out there. Oh, look, this girl looks a lot better, and she wants to mess with me. And that kind of stuff, bro, then, you know, again, sometimes it may not even be enough, bro. What one does, or you may be giving it to the wrong person.
Right.
You know.
I agree. That's a good point. I got two real quick things that I could get in real fast as one. And you made me laugh, man, right now because you were like, happy wife, happy life. Most of the times, that's how the dude sounds. He doesn't sound very happy. He's like, oh, happy life, happy wife. It's almost like regret. Like, oh, it's all right, dude. He never sounds, it's always ugly like that, right? He's never like, hey, happy wife, happy life. Yeah.
Hey, anytime he's gonna talk with the boys, he does it.
My wife cheated on me again with the Lakers were in town, and my wife cheated on me again. Happy wife, happy life. You know what I'm saying? It never sounds, it's just the worst scenario possible, man. You know what I mean?
Very true, bro. Very true.
And then second, what I was gonna say is that, you know what, as women, and I'm not bashing on you women, I know it sounds like I am, as women become more prevalent in these jobs, they take on more masculine identities. And they do things that, I'll give you an example. 25, 30 years ago when we were in high school, right, where there were still a lot of men in high school, it wasn't unusual for you to hear about like, hey, dude, I heard the PE teacher was messing around with the cheerleader. Right? Sometimes you might hear about that. It would be on the news, right? Let me ask you this. When you hear about a teacher and a student interaction nowadays, what are the roles usually now?
The roles?
The roles. Isn't the teacher usually a woman with a young guy?
Yes.
You hear about that more now?
Right. Yes. Yes.
Because now they're in that position of power, just like men used to be. When you see a high power woman, they start to take on these. You know, I've watched news where it's like a CEO of this company, a lady, where she was sexually making advances to somebody else because she had that position of power. All of the things that they hate about men, they start to have those same type of traits. Just pay attention on the news when you see it. Right? Yeah. They start to, all of a sudden it's like, well, now I got power. Hey man, come here real quick. Hey, what are you doing later after work? Hey, we're gonna have a meeting, but why don't we go have a drink and have it? Yeah. Just like men used to do. But now it's women who do it.
I think all you need to do is watch the movie Disclosure.
Oh, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Right?
A good movie though. Good movie. I do recommend it, man.
That was a long time ago.
Hey man. Hey, that's Demi Moore at her best, man.
Bro, I'll tell you what, man, that's what I was gonna say, and that's not fair because somebody like Demi Moore, man. I'll tell you what, man. I'm not saying I know you guys like the back of my hand, but man, we've been talking for. She's breaking all three of us, bro. Come around to us like that. She's breaking up. We're like, what? Like we're overtime, you know you get broke by Demi Moore, bro. That Demi Moore Disclosure.
That Demi Moore. Today's Demi Moore part now, but that Demi Moore, good.
Demi Moore, yeah. And
so
just, you two over there, Two-Face Entertainment.
Well, no, I know exactly what you're talking about, bro. I know exactly what you're talking about.
So getting, making full circle. And by the way, anybody who's watching, I'm gonna drop a phone number. If anybody wants to call in and give your thoughts, I'll be dropping it in a few minutes. But to circle back this to now to dating, right? For one, young people not dating, I don't think that's a bad thing. I'm when I read the study and I see certain studies and people talk about it like it's a pejorative. In a pejorative manner. And I'm not sure that's really a bad thing, depending if they're choosing not to date, right? If they're choosing not to date, I don't see the big issue with that. I think it's actually pretty good for young people just to kind of hold off a little bit and say, like, hey, let me build my life up. Let me build my life. I do understand the fact of two young people coming together and building together, right? Because they build a strong bondship. So I'm not against that either. I mean, too young is too young. I don't want, 18-year-old, 19-year-olds getting married and starting life together. But I also don't think it's a good thing for people to wait till they're, 35, established in life, to barely start a relationship, because you went through so many battles on your own where you're gonna miss the bondship with that person. But it's got to be that right person that went through that battle with you. You guys went through the battle together. The bondship that it brings you together. As I talk to some people, it's like, well, you know what? I want to get my life together. Which is good. I'm not saying they're doing anything wrong, but at the same time, you're also missing an opportunity of strengthened relationship if you choose the right one. If you get the right person in your life, male and female, right? It doesn't just go for the men, but for the ladies as well. And you guys go through the battles together and weather storms together. 10 years later, 20 years later, man, you guys are going to be unbreakable because you guys weathered through storms together. You guys built your little empire, whatever that little empire is, a little small house of whatever it was. You guys went living from an apartment, to a 2-bedroom apartment, to, a house, to, different jobs. And you guys built together. You guys leaned on each other. So I think there's a beauty to that as well, as opposed to just like, hey, I'm going to do it on my own, which I do not want to fall victim to that. I hope I'm not doing that. I as it stands right now, I'm good. I have no need to want to date. I'm focusing on so many other things. But as older people, that was the younger side. But as older people, I think I feel more sad for them. Well, I should say for us, because I'm older as well and single. I feel a little bit more sad because being at a certain age and not having that somebody, that means something went wrong. Is it 100% across the board? No, but the vast majority, that means something went wrong. Something just didn't go the way you wanted it to, right? And I want everybody to take responsibility instead of blaming everybody and instead of blaming the other people, right? Her, or if you're a girl, or him, whatever, and make that proper adaptation into your life. Because I tell people this now is that the people that come into your life, always remember you attracted that person into your life. That's friends as well. If you got backstabbers in your life, if you got cheaters in your life, if you got a bunch of chicks that are coming after you that are no good, they're garbage, they're trash, they got all kinds of kids, they got a foul mouth, they got no respect for men, and they want you. There's something about you that you're attracting them. You got to let it be known, like, no, heck no. And I think that's another major issue that I'm running with, man. I know I'm taking up a lot of time. I'll switch it off to you guys real quick, but that's one thing that I'm finding in men today as well, is that a lot of men, or I don't know if I should say, I probably shouldn't say a lot, but the men at least that I speak with, they don't want little kids. Yes. They already went through, some of them have teenage kids. Some of them, their kids are already in high school, or their kids are already in their 20s or something. And they come across a lot of women that still have, 9-year-olds, 10-year-olds, but yet they're in the same age, so if the man's 45 and, his youngest is a sophomore in high school, he's like, my kids are kind of doing their own thing or whatever. A lot of women his age, they still got 8, 9, 10-year-olds. And a lot of men don't want to deal with that. And they're criticized for it. Believe it or not, man. A lot of men are oh, how come you don't want to be with her? Why not? Like, what? It's because he doesn't want to. Why should he compromise if he doesn't want to be bring in a family? He just wants a woman. All right, so let it be. Which, by the way, I'll put it out there. I'll put it out there. It's a no-go for me. Any girl with little kids, it's a no-go for me. Straight up. No ands if or buts about it. It is not happening, Holmes. But I'll pass it to you, Fred.
You know what? That's another topic that I don't want to say just little kids. And again, I as well don't want to make it sound like I'm bashing women. But here's another problem that comes with society today.
Hey guys, real quick, I'm gonna step away for a quick second. Go for it, Fred.
Okay, brother, got it. So here's the problem that happens today. A lot of women, they want to be held to a high regard, as if pretty much like if they don't have a body count, or basically they're worth this. And they forgot to take you off of mute, brother. They have a huge body count that where they expect to be treated a certain way, and they're raising the bar so high, and yet they're full of kids, and some of us men do not want that. That's what it is, bro.
Yeah, no, I feel you on that, man. There's a lot of times where it's you're in a bad situation, right? When you're raising somebody else's kids. First of all, shout outs to all the men who have taken the time to raise somebody else's seed. Yeah. That's a hell of a man. And who's done it the right way. You know what I mean? Who's taking that kid in like it's his own kid and didn't separate him. Shout out to all those men, because it's hard to raise another man's seed, right? Correct. And do it the right way, to be vested in it. You know what I mean? Yeah. But another thing about that, man, is that you're in a no-win situation. Right? Because you could be vested in this young kid and you could start raising him because you love the woman, and you're going to love that kid because it's part of the woman and that's part of the deal, right? But 4 or 5 years, let's say 4 or 5 years, it didn't work out. And you built this great bond with this young kid. You have no rights to him.
Correct.
You have nothing to him. Right. You know what I mean? If you want to see him, you got no legal right. You were there for 5 years. You did everything for him. You treated him well. Hopefully the young man or young woman realized what you did for them and continue a relationship with you because they saw what you did. But if the mom poisons them against you, or something goes wrong, you got no, hey, that's my son. Let me give him a call and see. Or, hey, can you want to come visit me on the week? Why? I want to see him. Why? It's not even your son.
That's not, yeah. Yeah,
right. And so that's why I'm saying to all those men who do it right, man, God bless you. Good for you. Right. But I wanted to ask you a specific question, Ed, right? Because we're talking about dating and you as well, Fred, right? About dating. Do you think that this young generation just dates different than us? And what I mean by that is, like, we think of a date, we'll pick up the young lady at her house. We might take her for dinner, get to know her, maybe go have a drink, whatever. Right? Do you think young people now, to them, a date is, hey, let's meet at Starbucks. A little less pressure, but it's a date. Or, hey, you know what? Let's go for a day walk. Or let's do something. Let's go out in a group. We like each other, but let's go out in a group. Because I see that a lot. Okay. Right? Do you think young people just date different? And we think like, oh, well, they don't, because they're still hooking up. There's no sense. People are still hooking up all over the place, right? So do you think maybe it's not that they don't date, they just don't date like us, or they don't have the same type of the way we were about it, What do you think?
Fred?
Do you think that could be a possibility?
Yeah, Fred? I would say that's a very strong possibility. I mean, because we tend to look at it like, well, if you're not doing it the way we did it, that's not how you do it. But then when you look at it from that perspective, as you stated, Robert, that's that makes a lot of sense. I would say, it's different, I mean, I'm not saying the full everything 100%, but a lot of it I could say is.
Yeah. What do you think, Ed?
I think dating has changed completely. I think even with every generation, Robert, because I think even people in their 40s and even 50s would probably date the way you just described. Like, hey, you know what? let's meet up at a coffee shop. I don't think even people older are gonna be doing the old traditional thing when it comes to I'm gonna go to your home and pick you up, because now it seems like women are like, I don't want him to know where I live.
Wow.
You know, it's kind of, I mean, we've gone. I mean, if that was if that was still the case, people would still be exchanging phone numbers, and they're not. You know, it doesn't matter if they're in their 40s, doesn't matter if they're in their 50s. They're exchanging Instagram or Facebook or whatever, and it's just kind of like, hey, yeah, let's meet up over here. You know, it's not the whole traditional. I think it takes a little bit of time till she gets used to you. And then it's like, okay, now let's do the old tradition, kind of come pick me up. But I don't think women are just letting you know where they stay anymore. Like it was once upon a time. Yeah, it's just like, all right, yeah, you know, come pick me up. And I said, all right, cool, man. You know, you wash your car and everything.
Yeah. Get dressed up a little bit, you know, beyond, you know. But I'll tell you what, man, and this is real, man. If I'm interested in a woman and I meet her and I ask for her number and she were to tell me something like, let me give you my Instagram or let me give you something, it's a no-go, man. I tell her thank you very much, but I'm not interested. If I can't get the number, I'm old school like that, but I don't want your Instagram. I don't want to hit you on something else. If you're interested in me, give me your number. That's how I feel. Yeah. Right? Regardless of the age, regardless of if you're, you know, it's real easy, man. When somebody likes you, they show you. Right? You know, it's just like if you text a girl and you text her, she never texts you, then you see her again. Oh, hey, I text you. Oh, really? You know I texted you. Everybody's trained nowadays to hear that bloop bloop. Nope, I don't want to return it. You didn't want to return the text. She's telling you no. Right? So, like I said, if you're interested in me, you give me the number. If not, it's cool. And like I said, it's real simple. Right? We're at that age where it could be something like, hey, you know what? We went out. I'm not very interested. Thank you. Blah, blah, blah. I can deal with that. What I can't deal with is being at my age and having to deal with it like I'm 22 or 23 years old again. Oh, call me back. Oh, I missed your phone call. I was out over here and this. I called you back and blah, blah, blah. No. Check it out. If you like me, answer the phone. Right? I get you're always busy. Damn, you must have the. You know what I mean? It's like you must have the nicest hair on earth because you know what I mean? You're washing your hair again?
Yeah.
Like, you know, people tell you, man. Sometimes people tell you without even telling you.
Right? What Andrew's saying here, a lot of hyenas want to go 5-star restaurants. Yeah, you know what? That's a lot of the chicks that I was explaining earlier. A lot of the girls that call themselves like baddies and stuff like that. They want you to spend money on them. It's almost kind of like, you know, there's a lot of women out there that say like, hey, money doesn't matter to me. And Fred, we touched on this on the roundtable. Was like, hey, money doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me. It needs to matter at some point. You're just not going to be with a guy that brings zero income. It has to matter to a certain degree. But there's got to be a level to it as well, right? Because it shows ambition, it shows dedication, it shows that the man's going to step up and take care of the situation, right? But at the same time, there are certain women, and a lot of them are the women that I was explaining. A lot of women that are single moms, tattoos, they cuss a lot, they're disrespectful.
Looking at the bar.
A lot of those girls, you know, they get on social media and show a lot of their body. You know, that's another thing. Look, a lot of those men, stop following some of these chicks, dog, because you're really just putting it to them, the poison that they're putting out there, man. A lot of these girls take off a lot of their clothes, right, on Instagram or whatever other social media platforms, man, and they get like this huge following, and oh man, you're beautiful and all that, man. Let me tell you, look. A woman like that is damaged. She is damaged. If you're looking to date a chick like that, why would you even consider taking a chick out or spending time with a girl that willingly puts herself out there for a bunch of dudes to lust all over her? Don't get me wrong. Some of these hyenas are fine.
Yeah.
They're man, yeah, they're good looking. But dog, are you really gonna take this chick out? Because that's the chick that's gonna want to drive your bank account down to zero.
Mhm.
That's the chick that's gonna right off the rip. It's what can you do for me that other because I have so many dudes that want me, right? In reality, all they want is just to smash her in bed. They don't want to spend
Yeah.
a life with her. And the ones that are willing to spend a life with her, they're a bunch of simp ass punks, straight up.
Yeah.
Because no real man is gonna settle for a woman like that.
You're so right, Ed. That's very,
You know,
very good point. I
speaking
thought
of
you were
that,
going to say drive your when you said drive your bank account down. I thought you were going to say they wanted to drive my Mazda 6, ladies. That's right. I have a Mazda 6.
Got
That's right.
got a nice little 5-speed transmission, man.
no, and you know what? And I'm not knocking it. I'm not knocking women and stuff. But come on, bro. Like they want five-star restaurants, and I'm valued at this. Like Robert and I, when you stepped away, Cholo, we were talking about this. But you got a bunch of kids. Like you're setting the bar so freaking high. And mind you, again, don't misunderstand what I'm about to say. You're not worth that, at least from the outside looking in, you're not at that level, to be demanding that much at that point. It's like anything, you got to earn it. If I'm really feeling you and I can afford to do that, I'm going to do it. But if you're not showing nothing in return, it's just give me, and nothing's coming back. No, you don't get a 5-star restaurant, man. I mean, come on. Like, it's just, and mind you, if I'm not saying she has to, in a sense, earn it, but I'm talking the attitude, the social media attitude. Hey, I'm a baddie. I'm this and this and that. I should get it because I look like this. No, I'm sorry. That's not going to cut it. That's not going to cut it.
I'll tell you what, we were talking about dating, and Ed was saying, like, hey, if they have kids, it's a 9, 10 years old, it's a deal breaker for you, right? That used to be the deal breaker, man. But nowadays, man, you'll meet ladies who they still have their 28-year-old son living with them.
Yeah,
right. Yeah,
right. Because it's hard out there, or maybe whatever, and that's even harder because that's a grown man you're dealing with now.
Oh,
that's no longer a kid.
Yes.
That's a grown man you're dealing with. That's a tough position as well, right? And another thing, real quick, and I know I've been yapping a lot tonight, man, but
no, you're good.
Another thing is women in their quest to become so equal to men, they've taken some of the qualities that men have and just taken it to another level. I used to hate when I would hear women say, how come when a man sleeps with all kinds of women, he's cool, and when I sleep with a bunch of men, I'm considered a whore? And I would be like, yeah.
Right.
It's so unattractive when a woman is telling her body count, or when she says she doesn't know, or I've slept with over 500 men. They don't realize it, but to a lot of men, not to some men, don't care. Yeah. Like you said, Ed, some men don't care. Like you said, some men don't care, right? But a lot of men, they don't. I heard a guy say this once, man, and it made a lot of sense to me. He said a man is real when it comes to his woman. He's really concerned about her past instead of her future. Example, I'm a professional. I think I've met this wonderful woman. I bring her in to a company function, and when I get there, a bunch of dudes I know her. She slept with a bunch. She used to do this and do that. All of a sudden now, not because of me, but because my reputation is soiled. And that's right. What you're going through, bro. Oh, man. Oh, okay. So women, you don't realize we're concerned with your past. You might think you're living young, and hey, if that's your get down, do what you got to do, right? Hey, that boat has sunk. That boat has left the dock for me to tell you what to do. Just know, for real, just know that men care about your past. We've all seen beautiful women we've seen beautiful women that somebody, maybe one of your friends, has said, bro, when she was in high school, oh my God, that girl was off the hook. She was with the whole football team. And
Right.
you're like, what?
Yeah.
You don't look at her the same anymore. You don't. You don't. We don't.
Look, no, look, 1,000%. And if you look at her, all you want is the same thing that the other guys got from her. But you're not looking. You're not looking.
And you're the guy she doesn't want to give it up to. She's changed.
Damn.
But if a guy does find out, like, oh, she was with so many damn dudes, and no guy's gonna be interested in her. No guy's gonna be interested in a special relationship. What they are interested is to get the same thing that the other guys got. But you're right. Maybe she doesn't. You're the one that she doesn't want to give it up to. By the way, for anybody watching, man, the phone number is there: 213-770-9099. Man, call in. Talk to, hit us up, man. Hit us up. Let us know what you guys think about this. But I want to throw this in there as well. It's just the difference, right? Because in our society, it's like we've been trying to make ourselves equal, and that's such a poison. We're not. There is a major difference between men and women. And I remember I was listening to a podcast. And somebody said this, and I never even thought about this till I heard it. They said, when a man cheats on his wife and she finds out, one of the first things that she wants to know is, do you love her? Mm-hmm. When the wife cheats on her husband, or it doesn't need to be marriage, just boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever, right? When the girl cheats on her man, the man wants to know, what did you do with him? Mm-hmm. Sexually? Like, did you guys just hug? Did you guys kiss? Like, did you please this dude? Did you allow him to treat you like a complete slut? Did you like that? That bothered it, and I found that interesting. I'm like, huh. Yeah, I never even really thought about that, man. The girl wants to know from the man, do you love her? Right? It's internal. It's, where does your heart with her? Do you have feelings for her? When the man is thinking like, you're thinking the worst. You're thinking like, did you let this dude have his way with you? Because if you did, yeah, you're tainted, girl.
Yeah,
you're tainted. I it's like disgusting to touch you now.
Yeah.
If that doesn't show you we're different, right? If that doesn't show you we're not equal, we just don't think alike. We're different.
Yeah.
Right? We're just different.
It's like The Hangover, bro. Like The Hangover. Remember The Hangover where he says, yeah, he slept with her, but he didn't finish, or something like, yeah, I'm cleaning it up here for the channel. But you guys know what I'm saying. The people out there know, yeah, but he didn't finish. Right? He was proud of that, bro. And they were like, what the heck? Dude? Like, yeah, you know, that does cross your mind if that's the case, if you're with this person, you know. So
I think a lot of people mistake a lot of people mistake the fact that we can treat everybody as fair as possible. We can treat everybody as fair as possible. It's impossible to treat everybody equal.
Correct.
Look, people ask me this, and I tell them straight up. They're like, oh, you know, do you treat everybody the same? Because you're supposed to say yes, right? Which is a complete BS lie. Yes, and I tell them, no, of course I don't treat everybody the same. Why the heck would I do that? When I meet up with Robert or with Fred, I'm going to treat them a little bit different than if I meet up with a female. I was going to name another YouTuber like Jen Magana or Becky, right? They're females. I'm not going to treat them the same. Okay, you make the proper adaptations. You treat everybody with respect until they give you a reason not to respect them. At that same token, when you see somebody that doesn't respect themselves, like I was talking about women earlier, certain women that conduct themselves in a certain manner, and look, some dudes, man, that don't care about themselves either, right? That they're putting I'm not even talking about sex, but the way they don't take care of themselves. they're trashy dudes. They don't do anything with their lives. It's like, okay, you know what? Look, like you said, Robert, I'll treat you fair, homie, but you don't respect yourself, dog. I'm not going to be disrespectful, but I'm not holding you up here either, because you're not holding yourself up there either. So, let me see. Now she's a virgin. Oh man, Andrew. Yeah. So she gave it up to everybody else, right? And then you go and it's like, you know what? I definitely don't want a relationship with this girl. I just want what the other guys got. Oh, but now she's a good girl.
What did she tell you? She's all, I think we got a chance.
Yeah.
I don't want to rush into anything.
You get a hug at the end of the night.
I think we can make it. Oh man. Oh,
yeah. You get a hug, bro. You get a hug.
I think we got a shot. I think we got a chance. I
think we can really make it. Let's wait. Oh my god.
And to Andrew there, bro, it's a indecent proposal. The Robert Redford.
Oh yeah.
It's
wait, no, that's not Robert Redford. It's
Yeah.
Michael Doug.
No, indecent proposal is Robert Redford.
Yeah.
Indecent proposal is Robert Redford.
Yeah.
No,
you're thinking about basic.
You're right. Indecent proposal. Okay, I was thinking about Disclosure. You're right.
Oh yeah.
Woody Harrelson. Yeah.
Michael Douglas. Yeah. Woody Harrelson. And yeah.
Why are they scared to go out date with a blind man? I don't know. Date a blind woman. I'm sure she'd be willing to, man. So yeah, I think there's a major issue. If nobody calls in, man, we'll wrap it up. And we got a few more minutes if anybody wants to call in. Do I think there's a major issue with people not dating? I think there's a major issue on adapting to what the difference is with technology and so many broken up families, absent fathers. I think there's an issue with that. I don't like that people poison other people's minds, right? Like, here I am. Okay, in case anybody doesn't know, in case you guys don't know out there watching, right? I have 2 sons. I'm not with their mother. They're adults though. They're in their 20s. They're off. They're doing their own thing. Okay. Yeah. I'm not with their mother. All right. I would not, and I've had my failed relationships. I would not go and start poisoning other men's minds, especially young men, and start telling them like, oh man, you know what? I was with this hyena dog, and man, they're not good for anything, dog. You know what I mean? Like, just use them and abuse them, man. I would not do that. That is insane.
Correct.
And that's what a lot of people are doing. A lot of women do that. I'm not saying men don't do that. Yes, men definitely do that. But it seems like it's a lot more prevalent with women doing that with one another, just spreading that seed that's going to grow nothing but rotten fruit that just discusses them with men. And it's like, you need to stand up to men. And if a man has boundaries, it's not boundaries. He's trying to control you. And, just a lot of this nonsense, man. It's just the serpent at the tree, just telling you to eat the fruit. Stop with all that. I still, even though I've been in some relationships that didn't work out, even though I participated in a broken family, coming from a broken family myself, I still want there to be families together intact. I still believe, man. I don't want my sons to, have step kids or half kids, or hey, where's my grand? I mean, they don't have kids right now, but eventually, hey, where's my grand? Oh, they're gonna be with their mom this way. That's nonsense. We need to break that chain, everybody. And it starts with us. It starts with men. Why? Because men are in control. You probably don't think so. And I get it, because our society has pushed something completely different. But if you stand your ground, first of all, respect yourself, man. By far, you got to respect yourself. Okay, if you're out there acting like a clown, don't think just because You got the equipment between your legs, Holmes, that automatically now you're just a natural born leader, man. And now you're just a man. No, you got to respect yourself first. Hold yourself to a certain standard. Don't get involved in certain things. Like I got involved. I'm sure many of us got involved in so much foolishness growing up where it's like, yeah, we couldn't earn the respect of anybody because we were involved in just a bunch of dumb things, right? But as you get older, you adapt, you learn. I'm not going to go poison somebody's mind and say like, yeah, nah, dog, hyenas are, they're trash, dog. You know what I mean? Just, hey, man, just have a little bit of fun here on the side and there and let them be. Like, misery loves company. Yep. And I don't think people understand that's what's happening, especially with the ladies. When a lady, even though you knew her your whole life, when she's trashing men and getting you to trash men too, I'm sorry to ladies here, getting you a trash man too and think about men a certain way, she's miserable. She needs you miserable as well. And you guys be miserable together. It's like it's just like that alcoholic homie that you have, or the homie that likes to do drugs. He wants you to pop the bottle open. He wants you to smoke it up. He wants you to snort it up. Why? Because he's doing it. He wants you to do it too. If not, then why are you guys going to kick it for?
Yeah.
So,
you know what's another thing too, though, when reality kicks in, when they're alone with their demons at night, when they go to bed or whatnot, and you're alone with your demons. Yeah. And when it kicks in, when reality kicks in, and I'm saying men and women, if you find yourself crying, if you find yourself like, man, what did I do? And you're overthinking it now, or you're thinking stuff, that's the real you. Not when you're in front of your homies, you know, or your girlfriends or whatever. That's the real you. That's the reality of everything of where you want to be. But that's what separates leaders and followers, you know. Because in front of their friends, you know, oh yeah. But then the reality, you know. But yeah,
that makes sense. But I'll tell you what too, man. And I've harped on this all night, saying like, you know, women have taken on, you know, masculine personas and they want to do things like men, and it's always the worst thing and this and that. But you know what too? Unfortunately, with the lack of father in the home, a lot of men have taken on female qualities. It works both ways.
Correct.
Right? It works both ways. There used to be like a man's code, man, right? There just used to be a man's, you know, even sometimes we say something, man, that dude right there, don't mess with him. That's an old school dude, bro. An old school dude, we kind of know that dude don't play. If he says something, if an old school dude tells you, hey, man, I'm going to be at your house at 7 o'clock, he's there at 6:50. Yeah. He's there at 6:45. If you ain't ready at 7 o'clock, he don't dig that. He's old school. An old school guy is going to tell you what he thinks. An old school guy is going to get approached by a female and he knows she has a husband and he's going to say, move aside. There used to be a man code, right? Did all men follow it? But we all know that the man that we look at maybe an old school dude where we're like, man, that dude, some dude that we looked up to, he had those best qualities that as young guys we looked up to and we admired them, right? Yeah. Those old school values, those are the best values still. I don't even call them old school nowadays. I just call them the right values to have, man. We used to value words like honor and respect. They weren't just words. It meant something to us. Yeah. Hey, you know, so-and-so, oh man, that's a good dude, man. He's very respectful, blah, blah, blah. All of a sudden, when you see him again, you think, oh, wow. Oh, that's Ed's friend. He told me all about him, man. He's very, you know, if I introduced you to somebody and I gave him that admiration, you both would be like, oh, wow. Compared to somebody who I'd be like, oh, yeah, that's some dude I know, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But if I literally took somebody, we know dudes like that too. Like, yeah, that's a home. Yeah, no, there is. I would take the time to say, you know, hey, Fred, Ed, man, this is my buddy, man. Hey, he's on point, man. This guy is, you know, you guys would be like, oh, okay. We would kind of shift our body language even. You know what I mean? Even the way we might greet him might change because we know he's got those type of values that used to mean a lot, right? Yeah. Like I said, man, you know, I said this on the show before. A contract used to be a man's word. Right. Correct. How strong and how respectful and how much integrity did you have to have for somebody to say, you know what? You're telling me you're going to do that? You're going to pay me that back on this date? It's yours on your word alone.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That was before we needed lawyers.
Correct. There's that old expression, word is bond.
Right.
Your word was your bond. That secured it for you. Your word was good enough. We got to go back to being those type of men. We got to go back to thinking about the generation behind us. How could we bring them up? Are we telling them the right things? Are we giving them good fruit? Are we planting those right seeds and seeing them flourish? Or are we falling into those bad habits, man? I remember when I was a kid, man, being young, man, I remember experimenting, drinking, this and that. I remember I think I told you this before, the first time I met one of my friends, and they were like, oh man, this dude is cool, man. He could drink all day and smoke. Wow, he could drink all day. It was not impressive to me. Right? But as a young dude, you were like, I can only that fool, he can't. Hey, I party with so-and-so, he can drink all day, bro. You're right. And he can smoke. And he has 3 kids from 3 different women. And oh man, he's cool. And it's like, was he?
Yeah.
Was he cool?
Right. Yeah.
But we value the wrong things sometimes. We got to go back to valuing the right things.
Exactly.
Hey, we got Pastor David Rocha in the house, man. Shout out to my friend, my good buddy, Pastor David Rocha. You guys could check us out. We do Bible talk once a month, just like we do Men Rule the World once a month. So, guys, for tapping in, Pastor. Yeah, man. So, circling all this, wrapping it all up, dating. Like I said earlier, I don't really see that much of a problem. It could be a little bit of a problem, but I think it's more of an adaptation of what's happening in society. So like I said, as long as people are not poisoning other people's minds with their bad, it's different if, hey, you know what, just be a little cautious. All right. Because, this happened to me. I kind of thought that I probably should have seen this red flag or something like that. That's one thing. But to go over and above and be like, oh, no, man, this is like this, it's like that, she's like this. Or, with the ladies, like, oh, man, they're all trash. They're all this, they're all that. Now you're just breeding poison. Why? Because misery loves company. Everybody knows that saying. Everybody knows the saying. Misery loves company, but you never realize it. You never recognize it when you are actually miserable and poisoning somebody else, and vice versa. When somebody is miserable and they're poisoning you. And just like you said, Fred, and just like Andrew put right here, you're right. At nighttime, when it's just you and you lay down, that's when you find out who you really are. You're not impressing anybody. You're not trying to, look good for the boys or for the girls or for social media or anything of that sort. That's when you find out who you really truly are.
That's a great point.
All right, let me. I'm gonna take down the number. Nobody called in. We're about to wrap it up, but before we do, let's have a little bit of fun, man. Let me talk to.
We're gonna get a dating game. We got 3 women out there for being.
All right,
women
guys.
For free. No, not for real.
You get a woman. You get a woman. You get a woman.
Everyone gets a woman. All right. Okay. All right. We did the whole gorilla thing once upon a time, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let's cut it in half. Let's say 50 men, 50 men versus a male full lion. You guys are in the they put you in the dome. Who's coming out of that alive? The man or the lion?
Go ahead, Robert. I'll tell you.
By the way, just
I can tell you. I can say it easy.
Go ahead,
Robert. Oh, go ahead, Robert.
The men, look, as always, the men have no weapons, zero,
Okay.
just their
No
hands.
weapons?
By the way, they're barefooted. The men are barefooted. No weapons, no belt,
King of the
nothing.
jungle. King of the
Yeah,
jungle.
yeah,
50
exactly.
men.
Yeah.
Got it, bro. That lion's he's taking everybody, bro.
He's taking
He's
over.
He's a full-grown lion. I'm telling you, man. 50 dudes. there's going to be 10 or 12 guys who give up just because they see one of them get mauled. So you really don't got 50 dudes. You probably got about 22 dudes. There's going to be a couple dudes who get mauled who are gung-ho. Come on, bro, let's go. And he starts running over there. He realizes bro's not running with him. So he gets mauled first, right?
Okay.
Everybody sees that guy get mauled. 10 other guys panic. You don't got 50 dudes, bro. And then the other barefoot too? Oh, man, stop it.
Okay, let's put it like this, Robert. Let's put it like this. You have to kill this lion. You're going to die regardless. By the way, your family's in danger, okay? You have to kill this lion. There's no getting around it. You have to kill. I mean, because people say this, they said like, oh, when they see something like that, hey, they're gonna take off running. There's nowhere to run. You're in a dome. You're gonna face this lion. You are in a dome. You have.
Come on, I'm telling you straight up, man.
Hey, no getting out of there. The
way you set it up is crazy because you go like this. You're gonna die. But you gotta kill this lion.
Gotta kill him. Okay, what I'm trying to say.
Gotta kill him because everybody's not gonna make it.
No, not all men. Well, no, listen, men will die.
Right?
That's for
so
dang sure. Men will die.
So are we plotting? Am I gonna wait till the lay back and then a bunch of dudes die? Until are we unified? Are we together?
Here's all I'm saying, Robert. Here's all I'm saying. Everyone there is going to face this line. There is no getting out. There is no getting out. You're not run. I mean, you could run around in circles. Eventually, you're going to get tired. But
any weapons?
No weapons. The weapons. The weapons is the 49 other men that are in there with you.
Oh, man.
And no shoes, bro.
And no shoes. I don't think.
Yeah, he said
no shoes. No shoes.
Man. Hey, I'll tell you what. I got one. Go ahead, Fred.
Hey, Fred, bro. Hey, like, hey. No, you know what, bro? I think Robert's right. Some guys will step back. But again, just like the gorilla, bro. If the men rushed it, I would say it would take at least 25 to 30 men to overpower that lion, bro. Killing it, the next option would be killing it. That's where I come in. Fred, jump on his neck. I'm just saying, bro. It's just, I believe, it can be overpowered, but I mean, it's gonna be tough, bro. It's gonna be a full-grown lion. I've never seen a lion in my life, a real lion. I don't think I have, not in a circus or anything. But I'm saying, like, I don't know, bro. That is a tough one. That is a tough one. No shoes and no weapons, bro.
Yeah, no.
Bro, at least give us some nunchucks or something, bro. Come on, bro. Like, it's like
you're gonna Bruce Lee him.
Just so you know, a full-grown male lion is about 550 pounds, with skeletal muscle making up nearly 50% of its body weight. It can exert a bite force of about 1,000 pounds per square inch. Just so you know. Okay, just so you know before somebody tells me like, oh, we can. Just so you know. That's stronger than Drago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, go ahead, Robert. Go ahead.
Okay. Here's the thing, though. Because you got to strategize this. You're like that bite force is something, right? But he can only bite one dude at a time. Give me 10 gimps. Give me 10 guys that we're gonna sacrifice. That's all I really need. Give me 10 dudes, man, that
how do we know about choosing the 10,
bro,
Ed? Like, who gets to be the
claws, bro? Those claws can you, bro.
We're strategizing. Hey, we're strategizing. So if I'm strategizing,
no, here's the strategy, Robert. Here's the strategy. Give me 40 dudes, and give me 10 guys. Go to a stoner party or to one of these vaping parties or something, and give me 10 hipsters, man. Give me 10 dudes that we can just sacrifice. That's all I really need, because I'm gonna use those. I'm gonna use those guys. The lion can't bite everybody at the same time. When he bites down, he's got to maul, he's got to shake. All right, I need 10 guys, man. I got
10 the perfect 10 candidates. Hey. I got the perfect 10 candidates.
That's it. Because once the rest of us get into position while he's tearing these dudes up, once the rest of us get into a certain position, I'm not saying no other men are gonna die. Those 10 dudes, right off the rip, they're gone, man. They're dead. But outside of that, the 40 guys, there's men are still going to die. Men are still going to die for the cause. But yes, I think once everybody gets in position, I think we can take the lion down, man.
I got the perfect 10 guys. We don't need to go to a stoner party. You know what 10 guys we get? We put in an ad looking for a man, happy wife, happy life. If you're the guy who says that, you're the 10 we're sacrificing. Happy wife, happy life. Now I'm with you. We're going to throw those 10 out there, bro. The guys we have to ask their wife for permission, you're the next 10. You're the next 10.
Going first.
Now I'm with it.
Oh, man. Put an ad out there. We need guys. Happy wife, happy life, free martinis.
And you know the wife is going to fill it out for him. Here. Take that.
Go get him, babe. Go get him.
Oh, man. Good stuff. All right, fellas, let's wrap it up. Hey, on a good note here, this Saturday, if you guys are watching this live, this Saturday, which is what's the date this Saturday? August 22nd, I believe.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it okay? August 22nd is the 40-year anniversary of a movie that shows boys becoming men. The movie Stand By Me. It is the 40-year anniversary, August 22nd, this Saturday. So I know there's some cool stuff going on Saturday, but if you guys can make a little bit of time to just rewatch that movie. No distractions. Turn the phones off. Turn everything off. Sit down. If it's in the morning, if it's in the afternoon, in the evening, whatever it may be, take some time, or even just this weekend. Even if you can do it on Saturday, Sunday. Sit down and just kind of relive that movie, man, and just feel the movie, absorb the movie, because that movie it's really touching on young boys trying to become men on this journey, and
you really like that movie, yeah.
Yeah,
you've always spoken very highly of that movie. You really whenever you watch that movie, man, it really did a memory burn for you because you really enjoyed that movie. You spoke about it a lot. That's cool.
A great
That's
movie,
awesome.
man. Great movie. But with that, Robert, anything else, brother, before we wrap it up?
No, just thank you very much, man. Sorry if I was a little chatty tonight, man. The conversation was just too good, man. I had a lot of, you know what I mean? But I appreciate both of you. Two-Face Entertainment over here. This guy right here kills me, man. Right? Good dude, man. I appreciate you, man. Nothing but respect for Ed all the time, man. Just respect. Watch his channel. He's a good dude, right? Just respect and brotherhood to you too, man. God bless both of you.
Yeah, I remember when we talked about undergarments, Robert was like, man, I'm surprised I had this much to say about socks. Hey, Fred, any last words, brother?
Man, you know what? Thanks to both of you, man. I'm sorry I showed up late. I had other things to do, man. But hey, we came in and made it happen, bro. I'm glad I came in and you know, and when we got this out of the way, man, and really, you know what? I think a lot of things on here, I don't want to say got it out of the way. Let me rephrase that. I want to say that I think a lot of very important points were made here tonight, and I really hope that it helps some people out there or helps people rethink things before they do them. Honestly, I think there's a lot of good stuff there. Robert, you weren't chatty at all, brother. I think you brought up a very, very, very vital points in the conversation, bro. So respect to you as well. Respect to you, Cholo, as well, man. I always love and respect to both of y'all. And again, man, I think I thank you for letting me be on here, bro. And again, it's awesome, bro. And but you know what? And I do agree. Yeah, we could take down the lion, dog. We can take down the lion. I'm not trying to get into that. I'll pick him up by the tail and spin him around, bro. That's anyways. Peace.
That is all right, man. Hey, fellas, men. Let's be the men. Let's be the leaders that God made us to be. All right. Don't go yourself. Don't go lowering yourself. What society's telling you to be. You're a leader. Act like it. Conduct yourself as one. That is my boy, Mr. Robert Anthony from San Jose, California. That is Fred Segura with his dog Toby from Two Face Entertainment.
Toby the Tube. Anyway.
Cholo Trucker, men rule the world. Let me get my cigar. Men rule the world. We'll catch you guys next month.
Peace.
Sonic Boom!
Hadouken! Shoryuken! Finish him! Game over.